Highmark Stadium for the boys, Class 3A WPIAL Soccer Championship. A couple of teams from Section 2 Class 3A as the West Allegheny Indians, #1 seed in Class 3A, come in with a 19-1-1 record against the Montour Spartans, 15-3-1. Paterra, Rennie, Detore on a beautiful Saturday evening in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
The team at UPMC Sports Medicine doesn't just rebuild wrists and knees. They build better athletes. Athletes at every level who want to get stronger and faster and prevent injuries. Fact is, no other sports medicine program in the region is more experienced when it comes to treating, training, and inspiring athletes. UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Penguins, Steelers, and you. Find out more at upmcsportsmedicine.com.
AstroTurf, a pioneer in sports surfacing, proudly supports high school athletics. Visit one of their 280 fields in the tri-state area to see their cutting-edge technology. AstroTurf's focus in R&D enables them to provide innovative surfaces that protect athletes and stand the test of time. AstroTurf now...
Number 3, Caleb Miller. Number 4, Nick Graziani. Number 7, Gavin Chappelle. Number 9, Fletcher Amos. Number 10, Gabe Haynes. Number 12, Jacob Scheffelbein. 13, Stephen Abbott.
All right, welcome back to Highmark Stadium. Paul Paterra, along with Rennie, Detore. It's the Class 3A Boys WPIAL Soccer Championship game. The Montour Spartans, kind of the new kids on the block, crashing the party this year, Rennie. The other 7 teams who are playing for WPIAL championships have been here before. We will get to more of that story in just a bit, but right now, our national anthem.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
A very fine rendition of the national anthem. It is a nice night out here at Highmark Stadium, and as I was saying, Rennie, the West Allegheny Indians, they've won a WPIAL championship in the past, and the other 6 teams, in the boys division that have played for playing for WPIAL championships this weekend have been there before. This is the first time for Montour, but a great season for the Spartans.
Yeah, really, 15-3-1 overall for Montour. This is their first finals appearance, as you alluded to, Paul, but they were really close to getting there last year. If you remember, they lost in the semifinals in 2016 to Chartiers Valley by a 2-1 margin. Those two teams met again in the semifinals this season, with Montour winning 2-0 en route to today's matchup against West Allegheny. And you look at West Allegheny, Paul, 19-1-1 overall. They've won 14 games in a row, including 2 games against Montour during the regular season, 2-1, 3-2. Going to be tough for Montour to knock off West Allegheny tonight.
Yeah, West Allegheny lost its first game to Franklin Regional. Hasn't lost since, as you mentioned, the 14-game winning streak. 20-game unbeaten streak. There was a tie in there against Blackhawk. Teams coming on the field for West Allegheny. The white jerseys and white shorts, red numeral. The goalkeeper will be in light blue. And the Montour Spartans, black jerseys, black shorts, gold numerals. The goalkeeper in all lime green. And this shapes up to be a dandy because, as you mentioned, these two teams know each other.
Yeah, I mean, they've played each other in regular season. Again, West Allegheny's won them both, but they've been very tight games, Paul. So, again, I expect it to be the same here tonight. Remember, too, West Allegheny, even lucky to be here, they trailed 2-0 in the semifinals last week against South Fayette and were barely able to pick up an overtime victory 3-2. So, West Allegheny, this team has shown a lot of guts, a lot of heart en route to the finals, and we'll see if Montour can continue to make some noise.
WPIAL championship game. 8th game.
West Allegheny will go from left to right. Montour will take it from right to left, at least from our vantage point here at Highmark Stadium. West Allegheny will have possession of the ball to start this game. Gabe Haynes around the ball. And the WPIAL Class 3A Boys Championship Soccer game is underway. West Allegheny with control of the ball. As we said, coming from left to right. The Montour controls it back. Pass down the field for the Spartans. Seth Schleicher, the team's leading goal scorer, tries a lead pass. Knocked away by the defense of West Allegheny. Montour gets it back. Nolan Hutter on the far side of the field. To Mario Aluzzi, but coming on the counter attack, far side of the field. West Allegheny, but the ball goes back to the Montour Spartans. Early moments here. Montour, that's Hutter. Hutter on the far side. Then knocked out of bounds by Gavin Chappelle of West Allegheny. So be a throw in, across the way, right under the scoreboard. Back kick, deflected away by number 10, Gabe Haynes of West Allegheny. Out of bounds, be a throw-in for the Indians of West Allegheny. Coached by Kevin Amos. Head coach for the Montour Spartans is Alex Hobbs. Throw-in on the far side of the field to our right for West Allegheny. That'll be Jacob Schaffelbein. Setting up the play, throws it into the box area. And directed out of there by the Montour defense, coming with a counterattack. Ball comes up ahead to Seth Schleicher. Leads a team with 17 goals. Back kick to Alexander DeWitt. DeWitt over on the far side, works it. And the pass deflected out of bounds by Gavin Chappelle. So it'll be a throw-in on the far side for Montour. Here come the Spartans from right to left. Connor Gray. Gray operating on the far side, tiptoeing the sidelines, past to Ulysses. Ulysses gets it up ahead to Nolan Hutter. Nolan Hutter marked very tightly by Gabe Haynes. Ball knocked out of bounds, will belong to the West Allegheny Indians. We've played almost 2 minutes, no score. Throw in on the far side, on the West Allegheny side of the field. Long throw in. That's a header, coming ahead, trying on the attack, West Allegheny. There's a kick towards Nathan Dragosic. Dragosic with a lead pass into the box area. Kick towards the goal, but it's scooped up by the Montour goalkeeper, Brian Duggan.
Yeah, Stephen Abbott had a nice attempt there. See him chasing this ball down. Couldn't quite get the angle on it. Tried to put a shot on net, but an easy scoop up, as you had mentioned.
Montour with the ball on the West Allegheny side of the field, near side. Gunnar Graham. Gunnar Graham puts it into the middle of the field. Taken away, this is RJ Stutz with the ball, Stetz with a back kick. Montour trying to control the ball. Pass over on the near side. Brandon Wagner splits the defense. His pass is headed off by a member of the West Allegheny defense. Kick the ball near side. It's going to come out of bounds, be a throw-in, and quickly handling that chore, Mikkel Battles. Battles gets it into Mario Ulizzi. West Allegheny coming the other way. Double team effort, and it'll be a steal of the ball by Mikkel Battles. And we've got a whistle. Ball belongs to West Allegheny. Montour. Montour with a free kick at about the midfield stripe.
Yeah, new kids on the block, but Montour seems like the aggressor early on, Paul.
Absolutely. Nolan Hutter approaches the football, boots that in the direction of the goal, headed out of danger by the West Allegheny defense, but there's Hutter putting one way wide left of the goal. It'll be a throw. Goal kick, for West Allegheny. 36-27 on the turning clock to play in the first half. We are scoreless. Goal kick taken by Braden Worst for the West Allegheny Indians, the junior goalkeeper. Worst sends one long and downfield, headed by a Montour defender, up to Hutter. Hutter sends a lead pass in the direction of Seth Schleicher. It'll be another free kick for the Montour Spartans. Hutter's going to take that. Nathan Hutter, Nolan Hutter, the senior midfielder, pass over on the far side of the field to Ulizzi. That one's headed out by the defense. Logan Keast for West Allegheny. This one's going to be an easy scoop up for Braden Worst, the goalkeeper for West Allegheny. A bounce of the ball, and then Worst punts one high in the air. Three players go for the ball on that point. Kicked away by Evan Blankowski. Blankowski sends it in the direction of Nathan Dragosic, the Duquesne recruit. He's knocked to the ground. It'll be a free kick for West Allegheny. Getting ready to take that. Number 4, Bryce Zaborowski, starts towards the ball, backs up a bit. And Zaborowski sends one towards the goal, but right into the waiting arms of Brian Dugan.
Yeah, not much trouble here for Dugan. Just kind of fields it like a fair catch.
West Allegheny comes with the ball from left to right again. Went over Stephen Abbott's head for West Allegheny. Comes back, there's Schaffelbein sending it onto the Montour side of the field. Spartans over on the far side. Gavin Chappelle. Chappelle sends it to Abbott. Abbott tries to give it back to him, but it's taken away by Robert Daly for Montour. Out of bounds, be a throw-in, far side of the field. Throw-in goes to Gavin Chappelle. Chappelle up to Abbott. Abbott with a back kick. Coming across the field with the ball, crossing pass taken away by the Montour defense. Hutter for Montour, handling the ball. Lead pass. Ulizzi with some space, but it's knocked away from him by Schaffelbein of West Allegheny. Schaffelbein over to Bryce Zaborowski. Zaborowski momentarily loses the defensive pressure of Nolan Hutter. Far side, keeping it on the field of play is West Allegheny. And it's kicked on the far sideline by the Montour Spartans. Pass in the direction of Hutter. Fighting for it, Montour, taken away. Bryce Zaborowski. Zaborowski with a pass over on the far side of the field. Chappelle gets it over to Nathan Dragosic. Dragosic with some space. Keeps it on the field of play. Far side of the field, Dragosic, little stop and go move. Kicks it towards the net, but taking it on one hop is the Montour goalie, Brian Duggan. First really good chance of the game.
Yeah, you watch here, Dragosic does a nice job, you mentioned, keeping it in. Quick kick to the net, just missing it. Looked like Chappelle. Good scoring opportunity for West Allegheny.
Nice play to keep it on the field of play by Logan Keast for West Allegheny. Ahead to Gabe Haynes. Haynes with a long pass over on the far side. Gavin Chappelle. Chappelle gets it up to number 2. That's Dragosic, Nathan Dragosic. Splits the defense with a pass to Stephen Abbott. Dragosic gets it back. On him on the defense, R.J. Stetz. Stetson in battling for the ball. But it's Dragosic with a pass over on the far side to Chappelle. Back to Dragosic. Dragosic works the ball across the field, popped up into the air. Comes back where Montour Spartan waits for it. That's Hutter. Hutter tries the long lead pass. Schleicher, but it's taken away from Schleicher by Keast. Logan Keast out of bounds. The ball will be long on a goal kick for the West Allegheny Indians. 32-15 and turning to play here in the first half. We are scoreless. Class 3A WPIAL Boys Soccer Championship. Paul Paterra, Rennie, Detore at Highmark Stadium. West Allegheny against Montour. A header forwards by Chappelle, but Milcarrick knocks it forward for the Spartans. Milcarrick to Ulizzi. Ulizzi double team, then they get the ball away from him. Pass over into the far side of the field. Fletcher Amos, the coach's son. Then he's knocked to the ground. That'll set up a free kick for the West Allegheny Indians. So free kick for West Allegheny. Looks to be about 40 yards away from the goal. Kick far side. Goes right into the waiting toe of Montour's Alexander DeWitt. DeWitt's pass ahead, taken away. Here's Dragosic. Dragosic loops a pass up that's taken away by Montour, but Keese cheats up with a header. Sends it near side to Fletcher Amos. Amos can't keep it on the field of play. He was battling with Zach Gerstel there. Last touch by West Allegheny. Be a goal kick for Montour. We've played a little over 9 minutes of this one. West Allegheny, Montour scoreless. If it's going to go in the theme of most of the games here today, overtime will probably be double overtime. In the boys game, it was the second game of 4 here. Shady Side Academy defeating Quaker Valley, and then we just saw a thriller.
Yeah, Penn Trafford and Rowan.
And you know, those two teams don't really like each other.
Yeah.
Good old-fashioned Westmoreland County rivalry.
There you go.
Coming up on the near side. Gunnar Graham. Graham passes it in the middle of the field. Hutter, Nolan Hutter with some good footwork. Back kick, R.J. Stetz. Taken away from him, knocked on the far side. Touch pass from DeWitt to Ulizzi. Ulizzi tries to send it back, but it's going to roll off the field of play, and Caleb Miller did a great job shielding the Montour pressure away from the ball. Coming up was Alexander DeWitt. Yeah, good pressure there from DeWitt, but good ball movement by Montour, especially in West Allegheny's end. Really impressed thus far with the Spartans. Certainly don't look like the stage is too big for them tonight. No, they've played West Allegheny tight twice this year, as you mentioned. There's Caleb Miller for West Allegheny on the far side. And just boots it off the field of play. So it'll be a throw-in for the Montour Spartans. Alexander DeWitt, the junior midfielder. Takes his time, now makes the throw-in. Hutter with a back kick to Ulizzi. Ulizzi tries to get it back to DeWitt. Knocked away from him, but there's Hutter. Boy, Hutter's all over the place. He is. Out of bounds, another throw-in for the the Montour Spartans. I know it's early on, Paul, but I'm really impressed too with R.J. Stetz. Done a nice job against Dragosic. Really kind of, especially considering that Stetz is the only freshman starter for Montour on the field. Another throw-in on the far side. 29 minutes straight up to play in the second half. I mean, in the first half, no score. Trying to rush the game already. Trying to rush the game. We started a half hour late, so. Yep, it's still the first half. We're good. There's a throw-in, but it's headed out of danger by Gavin Chappelle. Comes back, pass into the box area, taken away by number 12. That's Jacob Schaffelbein. Schaffelbein up ahead. There's a collision, but coming out of there with it is the West Allegheny Indians near side. Fletcher Amos. Amos comes with some space along the sidelines. Amos, ball handlers through the defense. Amos with a kick into the center, but it's taken away. There's Stetz again, the freshman. As you mentioned, he is omnipresent on defense for Montour. Yeah, he's really done a nice job again. Only freshman starter for Montour. So Montour opponents get used to him for the next 3 years. West Allegheny under pressure. Evan Blankowski, ball kicked away from him, rolls off the field of play. The ball belonged to the Montour Spartans. Kind of the feeling out process so far between the two teams. Yeah, both defenses are playing really well, and again, not much doing in the way of chances. But I expect that to change as they go through that feeling out process. Goal kick, Duggan sends it down the field. Too far for Stetz, and Dragosic comes up with the ball. Dragosic on the attack. Still operating with the ball in the middle of the field. His pass a little too far for Amos and is going to roll off the field of play. Good defensive play there by Brandon Wagner, too, to make sure that Amos couldn't get to the ball. Another goal kick for Duggan. 27-15 and turning to play in the first half. West Allegheny and Montour scoreless. The last of 8 champions to be crowned here in WPIAL Soccer Championship weekend. Both these teams, of course, will continue their seasons in the PIAA playoffs. Great pass to Schleicher, but Schleicher softly towards the goal. Didn't get much on it, and an easy save for Braden Wurst.
Yeah, in that situation, Schleicher was really covered quite well. You see him take the lead pass here, tries to make a quick move. Kind of just runs out of space there, Paul. It's just a tough angle to at least try to put it on the net, and that's what he did.
Stephen Abbott going for the ball, but a slide tackle to knock it away from him by Alexander DeWitt. So to be a throw-in on the far side to our right for West Allegheny. Indians set up some offense. That pass too far, be an easy pickup for the Montour goalkeeper, Brian Duggan. Duggan looking to roll it to Mikkel Battles, but instead punts it onto the West Allegheny side of the field. And there's Schleicher, Seth Schleicher. Schleicher with a pass near side. Coming up with it, Gunnar Graham. Gunnar Graham crossing pass, too far for Alizzi, and he had a chance to head that one home if the pass was a little bit lower.
Yeah, just a little high there. Alizzi was looking for the header. See this pass. Gunnar Graham, boy, gets it right on Ulizzi and just a little bit high there. I tell you what, if it had been a little lower, I think we'd had our first goal.
Hair lower, that one's in the back of the net. Logan Keast. Keast to Evan Blankowski. They get it back to Logan Keast. Keast with a touch pass. Ball comes back to Dragicic off the toe of Amos. Nathan Dragicic. Dragicic. Nice pass up forward to Gavin Chappelle. Chappelle, Keast with a crosser. Too tall for Stephen Abbott, who leaped in the air for the header. For West Allegheny still on offense. Back kick to Jacob Schaffelbein. Schaffelbein tries to get it up. Chappelle, touch pass for Abbott. Knocked away by the Montour defense. And there's a kick that's going to go well over the net by Gavin Chappelle.
If it was a different sport, that would have been 3 points. Almost a mirror play, though. That just missed header there by West Allegheny. A little further back than the one was for Montour, but very similar and just a little bit high on the lead pass.
24:35 on the moving clock to play in the first half of a scoreless tie. Montour and West Allegheny. There's Stetz with a header for Ulizzi. It's knocked away from him by Jacob Schaffelbein. Then Gavin Chappelle comes and gets it up to Amos. Ball poked away from Fletcher Amos. Montour trying the attack. Hutter over to Ulizzi. Long pass in the direction of Schleicher, but he's going to be beaten to the ball by Caleb Miller. And Schleicher loses it out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for West Allegheny. Jacob Schaffelbein on the far side of the field with the ball. Throws out a little too far for his intended target.
He was trying to get it to Amos there, I believe.
Dragicic on the far side. Dragicic marked by Milkarek. Knocked away from Milkarek and trying to keep it on the field of play and look to do a good job of that. Alexander DeWitt.
Notice how quickly when Dragicic gets the ball, Paul, you got 2 guys from Montour all over him. Certainly know those 21 goals coming in. Got to keep an eye on that.
Long pass that's going to go into the waiting arms of Duggan, and he's shielded by Zach Gerstel to make sure he's got the ball to trigger the offense for the Montour Spartans of head coach Alex Hobbs. First appearance in a championship game for the Montour soccer program. Ball taken away by Dragicic over to Chappelle. Give and go. Dragicic operating with the ball. Kicks it forward to Stephen Abbott. Abbott with a chance. Steadies the ball. Abbott's pass deflected. Still on the attack. West Allegheny. Chappelle steadies it. Taken away by Stetz from Montour. And there's Hutter. Hutter gets over on the far side to Ulizzi, so it's out of danger. Long pass to Schleicher, but there's Logan Keast from Montour. Keast passed a little bit too far. And as you can see there on the replay,
yeah, you see
Abbott with a chance.
Try with that centering pass. Good defense, though, by Montour. And again, it was Stetz eventually that came over for some reinforcements there, Paul, able to clear it out and get it out of danger.
West Allegheny player knocked to the ground. That was Abbott. So it'll be a free kick for the Indians. 22-15 and turning to play in the first half of a scoreless tie. Dragicic to handle the free kick. He's going to be
number 2, Nathan Dragic.
to the right of goalkeeper Brian Duggan. Nathan Dragicic, the Duquesne University recruit, with a lead kick. It's coming way out of the net. Ball still being batted around. Was Duggan still in the box, and then a long kick to get it out of danger. Ahead to Schleicher, but West Allegheny maintains control. Operating with it, Dragicic. Dragicic still operating. Pass left side, taken away DeWitt for Montour.
See, West Allegheny, Paul, starting to kick it into another gear now, too. So early on, it was a lot of Montour down in the offensive end. Now Montour's back on their heels, and West Allegheny's putting on a big push.
Abbott's pass taken away.
That's again.
He's all over the field on defense. There's Dragicic trying to get the ball on the far side, but loses it out on the field of play. So it will now belong to the Montour Spartans. Patrick Phillips going to give Stets a breather. And he gets a nice handshake from Alex Hobbs, Montour coach. Got a chance to talk to him very quickly before the game. And he had those pregame nerves working a little bit. This will be a throw-in on the far side. On the West out. No, it's going to be a free kick for Montour. Spartans in the black and gold. School colors. There's a long kick in the direction of Schleicher, but it's headed, going to roll out of bounds. That went off the head of Evan Blankowski. And we're going to have our first corner kick of the game for Montour, near side to our left. Looks like Seth Schleicher, the Montour fans making some noise.
Yeah, Blankowski just missed that header again, and as we await the corner kick here, a little bit of a false start there by Ulizzi.
That is Ulizzi. It's going to be headed out of the box area. And then Dragicic sends it forward, but there's Milcaric. Milcaric over to Ulizzi. Ulizzi knocked to the ground. No call. Here comes West Allegheny on the attack. Up ahead to Stephen Abbott. Stephen Abbott near side of the field. Jukes and jives on the defender. Ball taken away from him. That was taken away by Mikkel Battles, and then Battles tripped up by Abbott. Get a little physical out there.
You see Ulizzi here, a little bit of footwork. It's tripped up. That was Schaffelbein, I think, that got a little piece of Ulizzi on that play.
Goal kick from Duggan. Sends it downfield. Off the head of Amos of West Allegheny. And here's Patrick Phillips. Patrick Phillips with the ball. Phillips takes a shot. It's blocked by Caleb Miller of West Allegheny, one of the members of the Wall defense. And on the counterattack, Evan Blankowski steadies the ball. And then back kick to Logan Keast. Keast back to Blankowski on the give and go. Keast gets it back. Keast up ahead. Gabe Haynes. Haynes over to Nathan Dragicic. Dragicic handling that ball. And he tries a lead pass, but that's going to be too far and just go into the waiting arms of Brian Duggan, the Montour goalkeeper. 18:35 to play in the first half. Montour and West Allegheny scoreless. There's a lead pass. All over it is Bryce Zaborowski for West Allegheny. Kicks that one up in the air. Headed forward by Montour, hitting the ground hard there for the Spartans. Cutter. There's Mikkel Battles. Mikkel Battles sends it near side to Seth Schleicher. Schleicher marked by Keast, but gets some space on it. Lead pass taken away. Caleb Miller again. Johnny on the spot for West Allegheny.
Yeah, Miller's been a force back there on defense for West Allegheny. Snuffed out two straight.
Milcaric takes the ball away from Gabe Haynes. Cutter, back kick, DeWitt. DeWitt sends it near side. There's a header from Phillips to Seth Schleicher. Schleicher marked by Keast again. Schleicher keeps it on the field of play, kicks it through Keast's legs, and then Keast has to kick it off the field of play. Couple substitutions in for Montour. Joshua Heidenreich, Robert Taylor.
See that lead pass from Schleicher. There's Miller back there again. for West Allegheny. So for me on defense, it's been Miller. On the other side, it's been Stetz. Both standing tall for their respective teams.
The throw-in, kicked away just in front of the goal. Haynes tries to steady it, but can't. Ball gets away from West Allegheny's Jacob Schaffelbein. Then there's a long lead pass, sprinting after it, Stephen Abbott. Abbott's trying to get control of the ball on the near side, keeps it on the field of play. Abbott's kick blocked. Out of bounds. Will that set up a corner? No, looks like it's going to be a throw-in.
Good hustle there by Abbott. You see him try to center it there. Good block. By Montour.
Sorry about
Blankowski.
that. Gets it into Stephen Abbott. Stephen Abbott. Pass deflected by Evan Blankowski. Lead pass for Patrick Phillips. Montour with some numbers. And then coming back is Amos. Amos knocks down Staley. And it's going to be called a free kick for Montour.
Yeah, you watch Daly coming up toward midfield and just absolutely gets crushed into by Fletcher Amos. Easy call there to make.
Nolan Hutter puts the ball just in front of the midfield stripe. Sends his free kick down the field, but Braden Worst plucks it out of the air. And he had DeWitt breathing down his neck.
Yeah, good aggressive play there by Worst. Coming out of the net.
Excuse me, that was Wagner, not DeWitt. Over on the far side, West Allegheny. There's the lead pass, but shielded on a great defensive play there by Zach Gerstel. Gerstel over on the far side to Heidenreich. Ball taken away by Montour. West Allegheny comes back with it on the Montour side of the field. There's a lead pass. That's too far for Blankowski. It'll be an easy handle of the ball for Brian Duggan. Closing in on the 15-minute mark of the first half of this scoreless tie. Ball sailed high in the air. There's a lead pass, Schleicher. Schleicher, defense collapses on him, still controls the ball. Seth Schleicher, his kick is blocked. Seth Schleicher tries to get it back, taken away. Good play by Amos, Fletcher Amos. Sends it near side, Stephen Abbott. Abbott into the middle of the field. Touch pass back to Amos from Gabe Haynes. Tries to get it back, but there's a good defense play, but Amos gets it back, and then Montour with the recovery. Patrick Phillips. Phillips to Nolan Hutter. Over on the far side, Mario Ulizzi. Ulizzi is marked over there by Jacob Schaffelbein. Out of bounds. Throw in, Montour. Excuse me, West Allegheny.
And for West Allegheny, number 6, Connor Blazer.
There's a throw in. Benjamin Forelli in the game for Montour. West Allegheny going after the ball. Ball rolls out of bounds.
Goal kick for Montour.
Goal kick for Montour. Not too many really good chances thus far here in the first half.
Yeah, I was just thinking, you know, it's been a lot of back and forth. I think both defenses have played really well. You got there's no shortage of ooh and ah moments close by the net, but really nothing too much in the way of chances.
Long lead goal kick taken away, though, by West Allegheny. Dragicic, but it's taken away from him by DeWitt of Montour. Then West Allegheny gets it back. Forelli on the near side. Benjamin Forelli with the ball. Forelli with some space. Crossing pass, headed by a Montour defender. Then Hutter with a bicycle kick to get it out of danger. Sends it over on the far side to Patrick Phillips. Phillips can't keep it on the field of play, so it'll be a throw in West Allegheny. Schaffelbein went to throw it in, but a whistle stops play.
Yeah, a little premature on the throw in there.
This clock winds down to 13 minutes to play in the first half. West Allegheny and Montour scoreless. Two teams met twice this year. West Allegheny winning both. 2-1 September 21st and 3-2 October 10th. As this ball rolls softly off the field of play. Goal kick for Montour.
Those previous two regular season matches, one goal deciding both games, really playing each other just as tight here. It's a little over 12 minutes left to play in the first half.
Duggan with the goal kick. Owen headed away again. That was Chappelle. Forelli with a heel kick, but taken away by Montour. This one's going to roll to Schaffelbein. Schaffelbein back to Caleb Miller. Miller over on the far side. Gavin Chappelle. A nice defensive play there by Joshua Heidenreich for Montour. Zach Gerstel sends it downfield. Out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in. Patrick Phillips, the sophomore midfielder, will handle for Montour. Into Seth Schleicher. Schleicher marked by Caleb Miller. Schleicher with the ball. Schleicher splits a double team, but the ball knocked away as Bryce Zaborowski was able to come up and kick it away. And there's Zaborowski again sending one up in the air.
Now you watch here, Schleicher makes a good move, but Zaborowski snuffs it out quickly, boots the ball away. Again, good defense by West Allegheny on this press from Montour.
Alexander DeWitt sends one towards the goal, but it goes off the head of Caleb Miller. Then a header by Schaffelbein. A couple of defenders knocked Schleicher off the ball. Lead pass for Forelli, too far for him, so Montour gets it back. There's Patrick DeWitt. Fletcher Amos for West Allegheny. Nathan Dragosic right in the middle of the center circle. Dragosic tries the lead pass for Forelli, but DeWitt heads it away from him. And then coming out of the net to grab it is Brian Duggan, the Montour goalkeeper.
Good play there by Duggan, too. That ball was bouncing around a little precariously. He decided to take control of it as he punts it back.
Evan Blankowski goes after the ball and kicks it into the stands.
Souvenir for, I think they have to give that back.
They did,
yeah,
they did.
Okay.
But he was very delighted with his catch of the ball.
I
I always tell the story how when I was covering a game well, I wasn't covering a game, but we were covering soccer for the old McKeesport Daily News. There was a photographer at the game who wasn't real familiar with soccer, and he was on the sidelines taking pictures, and the ball rolled to him, and he grabbed it, threw it on the field, and whistles blew, play had to be stopped. And he thought he was doing the nice thing, putting the ball back on the field. Montour, DeWitt near side. DeWitt, his pass stolen by Blankowski. Counter attack. It's Blankowski and Abbott for West Allegheny. Blankowski in the middle of the field. Sends it left side. That's Chappelle. Chappelle tries to get it back to Blankowski too far. And Duggan again corrals the soccer ball.
Yeah, probably the best chance for West Allegheny, Paul, based on the advantage there going down the field. But again, Montour very quickly back on defense.
Mario Ulizzi near side. Blankowski marks him. Slide tackle, knocks the ball out of bounds. That will belong to Montour with a throw-in. Coming back into the Montour lineup, Mikel Battles. And number 16, Jacob Milcaric.
Kind of get the feeling, Paul, that as fast-paced as this game is, that a goal is going to come out of one of these two teams making a mistake or being out of position. You almost saw it again the last time West Allegheny was moving down the field.
There's the throw-in. Ulizzi gets away from Blankowski. Ulizzi cross, diving for the ball is the goalkeeper worst. He can't corral it. Ball still being battled for, and Blankowski gets it out of danger. There's Mikel Battles, but it's taken away. Dragosic. Dragosic with a lead pass for Abbott, a bit too far. And Montour in control. Mario Ulizzi near side. Dragosic marks him. Ball goes off his foot and then off his body. Dragosic on the counter attack. West Allegheny on the move. Dragosic, lead pass for Abbott, but couldn't get much of a toe on it and just kicks it a bit wide left of the net.
Unbelievable pass there by Dragosic. Here you see coming out of the net is worst for West Allegheny. Then loses the ball. It's moving around there. Hutter takes a shot at it. Then you see here Dragosic. Watch this pass right over to Abbott, but Abbott just kind of loses a little bit, can't get a good shot. What a great scoring chance that was. West State still comes up empty.
Here come the Indians once again. Gabe Haynes to Fletcher Amos. Fletcher Amos back to Haynes in the middle of the field. Haynes coming straight up the gut. Over to Abbott. Abbott to Chappelle. Touch pass for Haynes, but the Montour defense there for it. Send it downfield, but there's Caleb Miller. Montour coming from right to left, but there's Dragosic. He's always around the ball. Nathan Dragosic knocked to the ground. That'll be a foul and a free kick for the West Allegheny Indians.
Yeah, they're going to get Brandon Wagner on that, Paul. See here, Dragišić tries to split. Actually, I'm sorry, it was Wagner was trailing on the play.
Number 2, Caleb Miller.
Is that Brozovic?
Milcaric. Dragišić with the free kick. Montour defense collapses around the ball. Fletcher Amos fighting for it on the far side for West Allegheny, and he pilfers the ball, gets it free. Sends a pass that R.J. Stetz waits for. And Montour going to come on a counterattack. Here comes Mario Ulizzi. Ulizzi with some space. He's ahead of Dragišić. Comes up on Keast. Ulizzi loses him. Ulizzi gets away from Dragišić. Ulizzi shoots, but saved very easily by Braden Worst.
And Logan Keast, I think that ball got a piece of him, Paul, and actually redirected, made it a little bit easier for Worst to make that save.
6.5 minutes to play in the first half of a scoreless tie. Abbott tries to get it to Gavin Chappelle.
See the shot here by Ulizzi. Did get a piece of Keast.
Over on the far side, Montour Spartans, Brandon Wagner. Wagner gets by some defense with some nifty footwork. In the box, Schleicher. Schleicher marked tightly, gets free. Schleicher shoots, gets a little bit wide of the net. Almost found the far corner, but it went a little wide left of the goal, and the score remains 0-0.
Wow, good opportunity there for Schleicher. Had a tough angle you see on this shot. Able to put a little bit of air underneath it. Almost gets it past Worst. Just misses to the left of the goal.
Goal kick for West Allegheny. Worst gets it ahead. This is Stephen Abbott with the ball. Stetz on him. And Montour gets it back, but there's the ever-present Nathan Dragišić, but he misses the ball this time. Fans on it. Brandon Wagner for Montour, taken away by the West A defense. Battling for it, Gabe Haynes. Over on the far side, Gavin Chappelle, lead pass, but the only one there is Mikkel Battles for Montour. Gabe Haynes gets it back. Haynes, touch pass, too far for Abbott. If he'd have taken another step forward, he'd have been offside. West Allegheny, there's the pass. Shoot, diving save by Brian Duggan off the toe of Gavin Chappelle.
First big save by Duggan. Watch here, little touch pass over to Chappelle. Kicks it. Diving stop made by Duggan. Excuse me, Duggan, I apologize.
Ulizzi kicks one over the net the other way and off the wall of the concession area. 4.5 minutes to play in the first half. We're scoreless, but we've had some end-to-end action here these last few minutes.
Yeah, really, both teams have had great opportunities to get that first goal in the game, Paul. Both goalies stepped up nicely, though. Particularly Duggan on that last attempt by West Allegheny.
Here come the Montour Spartans from right to left. Ulizzi with some open space near side. Can't control the ball. Keast gets it free. There's Mikkel Battles, though, for Montour. Up ahead to Seth Schleicher. Taken away by Dragišić. Dragišić, long pass near side. Stephen Abbott. Battles marks him. Battles still fighting for the ball. Both of them hit the ground. Coming up to help out, Montour defender number 14, Zach Gerstel. There's a header towards the goal and another save. Going to the ground to grab it is Duggan off a Chappelle header.
Yeah, nice header attempt by Chappelle, but Duggan right there, good positioning by the goalkeeper. See it here. Chappelle, not a good angle on that, but just again, great position by Duggan.
Seth Schleicher, but it's headed away by Caleb Miller of West Allegheny. Miller's pass, there's Hutter taking it for Montour. Hutter tries a crossing pass for Ulizzi, but Blankowski takes the ball away from him. This one's going to roll back to Milcaric. Milcaric, his pass, there's Dragišić. Dragišić loses control of it to R.J. Stetz. Stetz back to Zach Gerstel. Dragišić sends one far side. He gets it back. Under 3 minutes to play in the first half. Jacob Schaffelbein. The Montour Spartans trying to get that ball. Milcaric does. Milcaric has it knocked away momentarily by Schaffelbein. No, Zaborowski, excuse me. Gavin Chappelle. Chappelle, lead pass. Some open space. It's Stephen Abbott on the far side of the field. Coming up the left side. Abbott back to Chappelle. Chappelle fakes a kick. Now boots one. It's going to be headed towards the goal, but it's going to be way wide. I think it was a missed header attempt by Blankowski. And it rolls off the field of play.
Yeah, Blankowski, you're right, Paul. Just mistimed that jump on that header attempt.
Working with the ball there. Montour that's Greg Zaborowski. He tried the lead pass, did Montour to Schleicher, but the only one there was Caleb Miller. Miller's been in Schleicher's hip pocket most of the game. Back to Worst. Schleicher breathed down Worst's neck. There's one that Milkarek knocks forward. Schleicher with some open space. Seth Schleicher with some room. Schleicher shoots. Schleicher scores! The Montour Spartans strike first.
Schleicher goes, you see, he was behind the defense on that play, Paul. They kind of forgot about him a little bit. The ball rolled right to him. Made a nice move and puts the first goal into the game. Montour up 1-0 with just over a minute to play.
Seth Schleicher.
You watch here, the ball just rolls to Schleicher. He's standing there, a little bit of a trip by one of the West Allegheny defenders and puts a nice shot on goal for the first goal of this game. Here, if you watch on the replay, Schleicher's just standing there. A little bit of a trip by Caleb Miller. Good move, though, by Schleicher. Puts it right past Worst.
Seth Schleicher, the striker, makes it 1-0 Montour. Team's leading goal scorer notches his 18th of the season. West Allegheny trying to counterattack, get one for the end of the first half. Ball knocked off the toe of Jacob Abbott. The Montour Spartan fans a little fired up after getting that first goal. 1 minute to play in the first half. Montour 1, West Allegheny 0. Throw in at midfield, far side for West Allegheny. Gabe Haynes trying to get that ball. He shielded off it. And Zach Gerstel sends one downfield in the direction of Schleicher. Caleb Miller heads it away from him. And it's just going to roll off the field of play. Take more time off the clock as we close in on halftime. Time for a good offensive possession here by Montour with 30 seconds to play in the first half. Throwing on the far side. A bit right of the box. Back throw, setting up for the far kick is DeWitt. DeWitt into the box, that's headed towards the goal. Hit the crossbar! There's a kick towards the goal, and it's scooped up by Worst.
Wow, Montour could smell another one there, Paul.
9, 8.
Final 10 seconds of the first half. RJ Stetz gonna kick it over on the far side. That will be the end of the first half. The score, Montour 1, West Allegheny 0. You are listening to exclusive coverage of the 2017 WPIAL Boys Soccer Finals, only on the new Triblive High School Sports Network.
The team at UPMC Sports Medicine doesn't just rebuild wrists and knees. They build better athletes. Athletes at every level who want to get stronger and faster and prevent injuries. Fact is, no other sports medicine program in the region is more experienced when it comes to treating, training, and inspiring athletes. UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Penguins, Steelers, and you. Find out more at upmcsportsmedicine.com.
AstroTurf, a pioneer in sports surfacing, proudly supports high school athletics. Visit one of their 280 fields in the tri-state area to see their cutting-edge technology. AstroTurf's focus on R&D enables them to provide innovative surfaces that protect athletes and stand the test of time. AstroTurf now propels performance with iconic turf fields and legendary Record-Tan tracks. They manufacture, build, and maintain a full range of turf and track systems for total quality control. Learn more at astroturf.com.
The new Triblive High School Sports Network is the place to go every day this fall. On Mondays, we have the latest top 10 football rankings.
Also on Monday, we check in on the former district stars now making the grade in college with WPIAL alum Q&A.
Tuesday is a look back at the biggest and best plays from the previous Scholastic football weekend with the plays of the week.
We go big game hunting on Wednesday with a preview of the top WPIAL football contests.
I'll look into my crystal ball on Thursday with the wildly popular Chicks Picks.
A complete rundown of all the games comes your way on Friday, plus plenty of broadcasts to choose from on Friday nights.
On Saturday, we'll take a look at the top performances with Friday night highlights. Then on Sunday, a look back at the previous day's high school standouts with Saturday's Scholastic Stars.
This fall, the place to go for all of your high school sports coverage every day of the week is the new Triblive High School Sports Network.
Log on every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock for the latest high school football news during this week in the WPIAL, only here on the new Triblive High School Sports Network. Join Don Rebel and other members of the Triblive High School Sports Network team as it visits with WPIAL football coaches, plus they run down the upcoming schedule and preview the weekend's top high school football games. That's this week in the WPIAL, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. this fall, only on the new Triblive High School Sports Network.
The new Triblive High School Sports Network is the place to go every day this fall.
On Mondays, we have the latest top 10 football rankings.
Also on Monday, we check in on the former district stars now making the grade in college with WPIAL alum Q&A.
Tuesday is a look back at the biggest and best plays from the previous Scholastic football weekend with the plays of the week.
We go big game hunting on Wednesday with a preview of the top WPIAL football contests.
I'll look into my crystal ball on Thursday with the wildly popular Chicks Picks.
A complete rundown of all the games comes your way on Friday, plus plenty of broadcasts to choose from on Friday nights.
On Saturday, we'll take a look at the top performances with Friday night highlights. Then on Sunday, a look back at the previous day's high school standouts with Saturday's Scholastic Stars.
This fall, the place to go for all of your high school sports coverage every day of the week is the new Triblive High School Sports Network.
Paul Paterra, Rennie Detore back at Highmark Stadium. WPIAL Class 3A Boys Soccer Championship game. Montour leads West Allegheny 1-0. And don't forget, today's game is being produced by the Westmoreland Sports Network. On the cameras, Chris Smith, Dustin Beck, and Roger Dowd. Our producer is Dan Flickner. Rennie was an exciting first half. The only goal we had came at the 1:33 mark. Seth Schleicher scoring for the Montour Spartans. But both teams had their chances in the first half.
Yeah, they really did, Paul. I mean, it kind of was that typical game. It was a feeling out process early on. Both teams really, at different points in the half, kicked it up into another level. You know, Montour, would go on a little bit of a run on offense. West Allegheny would return the favor. They'd have a strong push, on the offensive end in Montour's end. So, again, both teams had really good chances. Montour really, that surge at the very end, of course, with the Schleicher goal, and they just missed one as time expired in the half. So, momentum-wise, if you believe in that, the Spartans kind of come out in the second half. They were the hotter team as the first half came to a close.
And a key that has Montour with a 1-0 lead. Goalkeeper Brian Duggan made a couple of big saves in the first half.
Yeah, he really did. I mean, both goalies have played well. Duggan really has stood out, with West Allegheny with, two really strong shots on goal, Paul. Some scoring chances, but two really good shots on goal. Duggan stood tall both times. Was very aggressive. The first one he came out of the net, scooped it up quickly. The other one he lost it, was able to recover. And then I believe there was actually a third scoring chance where it just went a little high on him, but he did a nice job of cutting down the angle on the shot.
These two teams come out of Section 2 Class 3A. West Allegheny was a section champ. Indians on a 20-game unbeaten streak, 14 wins in a row. Montour 15-3-1. Two of those losses, of course, came to West Allegheny. The other one to South Fayette. But both these teams have played well, getting through the postseason and playing it for the championship game. And the two of them will, of course, keep playing after this, moving on to the PIAA playoffs. But they're thinking about other things right now. They're looking at trying to win a WPIAL championship here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, as we talked about in our pregame, Paul, West Allegheny's been here, 19-1-1. Montour, this is their finals debut. They got really close last year, lost in the semis, was able to push through that wall, so to speak, find themselves in the final, and really now one half away from being champs.
And Montour has done well in this postseason, has outscored the opposition 9-1 with his goal here in the first half. West Allegheny has done well, of course. They've outscored the opposition 15-2, but the Spartans, it's tough, they say, to beat a team 3 times in 1 year. Now, Penn Trafford with Norland beat them twice and tied them once. That was a girls' game we had prior to this. West, we'll see if it holds true. Montour got the lead at this point.
I was really impressed not only with the fact that Montour, their first time here, the stage isn't too big for them. It's just like another game. And I don't mean to downplay the importance of this championship game, but, when you have your first time here, you got to just look at it as just another game. Go out and play your game. Montour's done that. They've been impressive, and really defensively, too. The Spartans have stepped in nicely. West Allegheny had some good opportunities. Again, we mentioned, just how good Montour's goalie was, Brian Duggan. I'm sorry, I keep saying Duggan. It's Dugan, right?
I think it's Duggan.
No, it's
the
Duggan.
2 G's. I'm pretty.
Yeah.
Like I said, I talked with Coach Alec Hobbs very quickly.
Duggan had some nice saves, but if you look at the defensive side for Montour, and really for me, it's been R.J. Stetz, the freshman, has stepped up big on a grand scale. He's done a really, really nice job against Dragizic for West Allegheny.
We'll get you ready for the second half in just a bit. 1-0 the halftime score. Montour leads West Allegheny. You're listening to exclusive coverage of the 2017 WPIAL Boys Soccer Finals, only here on the new Triblive High School Sports Network.
AstroTurf, a pioneer in sports surfacing, proudly supports high school athletics. Visit one of their 280 fields in the tri-state area to see their cutting-edge technology. AstroTurf's focus on R&D enables them to provide innovative surfaces that protect athletes and stand the test of time. AstroTurf now propels performance with iconic turf fields and legendary Recor-Tan tracks. They manufacture, build, and maintain a full range of turf and track systems for total quality control. Learn more at astroturf.com. Make Chick-fil-A Robinson your destination for a fast and tasty breakfast. Chick-fil-A Robinson offers a variety of breakfast sandwiches, including sausage, bacon, or, of course, chicken. Breakfast is served hot and fresh daily, featuring our handmade biscuits. Need to feed a crowd or a tailgate on Sunday? Chick-fil-A Robinson Catering has got you covered with hot or reheatable chicken trays. Visit our catering website at www.cfarobinsonCaters.com to book your business or social event today. Chick-fil-A Robinson Catering. We deliver. Triblive has a little something for everyone. Sports from high school to the pros. News from across the street and around the world. Arts and entertainment. Lifestyles. Opinion. Weather. Photo galleries. Video. You can even find your next job, house, and car. So look alive, Pittsburgh, and get the news you want and information you need all in one place. Triblive.com. Triblive.com. News and more 24.
Paul Paterra, Rennie, Detore. We're at Highmark Stadium, WPIAL Boys Class 3A Championship game. Montour leads West Allegheny 1-0. Here's the goal on the replay. Seth Schleicher, and as you said, Rennie, Caleb Miller stumbled, and that gave Schleicher the space to shoot and score.
The other thing, too, Schleicher actually faked as if he was going to be going to his left a little more than he did. He just pulled up really quickly, left-footed, was able to put it past Braden Wurst. But again, the other part of that, too, is Schleicher got behind the defense on that play, on that goal as well.
And Montour, shortly thereafter, had another chance. There's the pass in, it's a header. That looks like number 8, Brandon Wagner. Just hit the crossbar. It would have been a 2-0 game. As we get ready to start the second half here, Montour will go from left to right, West Allegheny from right to left. The Spartans will have it. Around the ball, Seth Schleicher, and here comes Montour Spartans. Long kick towards the goal, and Wurst backs up and takes control of that one. Of course, in WPIAL soccer, 2 40-minute halves of constantly moving clock. Unless there's a goal or a yellow card or an injury or some other reason deemed by the referees to stop the clock, as we have a battle on the near side. Schaufelbein pushed off the ball. Ulizzi just kind of said, get away from me. So to be a free kick near side here to our right by the bespectacled Schaufelbein. Comes in the direction of DeWitt of Montour, ahead to Mario Ulizzi. Ulizzi battles for it with Gavin Chappelle. This is Gabe Haynes, knocked away from him. There's that Stetz again. R.J. Stetz, the freshman. Long pass, but the Montour defense up to the task. Stetz with control of the ball. Stetz to Ulizzi near side. Goes through his legs and out of bounds. So they'll be throwing near side right in front of us. Well, down below us a little bit. Schaufelbein, we're not down on the field. There's Logan Keast. Milcarrick, excuse me. Battling with a Dragicic, double team, taken away by Montour. Brandon Wagner sends it far side to Hutter. Nolan Hutter with the ball, stops, Hutter passes for Schleicher, but is knocked away from him by Schaufelbein of West Allegheny. Up ahead to Gavin Chappelle, then there's a slide move to knock it out of bounds by Brandon Wagner. Quick throw in by Gavin Chappelle to Fletcher Amos. Fletcher Amos marked by Gerstle. Amos tries to get away from Gerstle, on him tightly. Then Stetz comes up with the ball. Montour loses it back to West Allegheny. Logan Keast far side, and that's Mikkel Battles. His pass goes out of bounds on the far side. 37:55 to play in the second half. Montour 1, West Allegheny nothing, but West Allegheny on the attack. And that one knocked out of bounds off of Zach Gerstle. Corner kick for West Allegheny. Far side to our left, and Dragicic going to line up for the corner kick. And we haven't had too many corner kicks in this game.
No, it's only been a couple. Can't think of anybody better than Dragicic to be able to do it.
There it is, the corner kick, headed towards the goal. Still an opportunity, but getting it out of there. Nice play by the Montour defense. Schaufelbein keeps it on the field of play and then sends it out of bounds. So it'll be a throw-in on the far side for Montour. Good work by the Montour defense,
yeah, I think
collapsing
that was,
around their goalkeeper.
Absolutely. I think that was Hutter, actually, that was back there that got that ball cleared out quickly. Good chance for West Allegheny, but nothing doing on the corner kick.
R.J. Stetz, his pass taken away from Ulizzi by Gavin Chappelle, but there's Brandon DeWitt with the ball. DeWitt gets away from the defensive pressure of Stephen Abbott. Gets it up ahead to Schleicher, and Schaufelbein throws him off the ball. It'll be a throw-in near side to our right by Montour. 36-41. Play in the second half. 1-0 Montour. DeWitt throws it into Ulizzi. Ulizzi bodied up by Gavin Chappelle. Crossing pass and just kind of poking it over the top of the net is Braden Worst, the West Allegheny goalkeeper.
Yeah, Worst went up tall to get that, and just kind of, like you said, almost like a layup on the top of the net. It's really all you could do with that.
Be a corner kick for Montour. Near side to our right. There's a crossing kick headed out of the box area by West Allegheny, but Milcarrick trying to put on some pressure. Operating on the far side, Milcarrick knocked out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for West Allegheny.
Yeah, that was Schleicher, I believe, on that corner kick, Paul. Put a nice kick in front of the net, but West Allegheny defensively was right there. Quick header and got it out of harm's way.
There's the throw-in. And they'll send it back to Braden Worst. Worst steadies it. He sends it downfield in the direction of Gavin Chappelle. Chappelle with a header, trying to get it to Dragicic. Dragicic knocked to the ground, out of bounds. And then we got a push on the far side.
Oh, wow.
Right in front of the Montour bench. Fletcher Amos kind of shoved DeWitt. No harm, no foul is the call. Stephen Abbott with a header near side. Abbott trying to keep it on the field of play, does not.
DeWitt really, he threw his hands up in the air like, well, is anybody going to do anything about that shove, blatant shove? But I guess let him play.
No call was made. 34-55 on the moving clock to play in the second half. Still 1-0 Montour. Brian Duggan, the Montour keeper. He's a senior. Sends it near R.J. Stetz. Ball goes over the head of Hutter, but still fighting for it. Up there's Brandon Wagner. Comes up ahead, R.J. Stetz. Stetz with the ball. Stetz finds some space for Montour. His lead pass going to be taken away by Bryce Zaborowski of West Allegheny. Let's take it away. Montour gets it back. Schleicher knocked to the ground.
Good hustle by Schleicher there. Kind of caught West Allegheny sleeping on that.
Over on the near side, Ulizzi fighting for it along with Chappelle. It'll be a throw-in for West Allegheny. It is amazing how much running they do during a soccer game.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. You get tired just watching.
Not for the, yeah, absolutely. Not for the unfit. Touch pass. Abbott tried to get it to Dragosic. Stetz knocked it away, but Gabe Haynes controls. Lead pass for Gavin Chappelle. Ulizzi marks him. Chappelle's kick's going to go into the waiting arms of the goalkeeper, Duggan, and it was a little wide right of the net anyways.
Yeah, Duggan did a nice job of corralling it. You know, we talk about the senior Duggan. He had 12 shutouts this year, so with a 1-0 lead, you like to think it's in his pretty much capable hands to keep West Allegheny at bay.
Long pass from Zaborowski. Amos gets away from the defense. Amos with a chance. Amos kicks it wide of the net. He got a rebound after the save by Duggan.
Wow.
Then he had an open net, but kicked it wide. And I believe we're going to get a corner kick for West Allegheny. Fletcher Amos imploring his teammates.
Yeah, there's the initial stop by Duggan. He kind of falls, can't recover. But if you see there real quickly, Paul, Duggan was able to throw his hand up in the air. I think that might have sent Amos off a little bit, kind of misdirected that second attempt on the rebound, but good work again by Duggan.
Dragosic corner kick near side. Crossing pass. Headed out by the Montour defense. Goes across the field, rolls off the field of play. Be a throw-in. Stephen Abbott. Schaffelbein knocked away from him.
Lenkowski on that corner kick and another missed header for West Allegheny.
Throw, and there's Blankowski with a header. Dragosic over his head, and there's R.J. Stetz. Bodied up by Blankowski, and he sends this one way over the net. It'll be a goal kick, and some fan from Montour is like, hey, is that a corner kick? I love to hear fans yell at the refs. It's so
fans always know everything.
They do.
Just so we can make that clear.
Hey, trust me, I mean, we hear about it too.
Can't imagine somebody watching sports and not saying that, you know, they know what the call should be or what the plan should be.
And we all tell Mike Tomlin and Todd Haley they can't call plays.
Absolutely.
Some fancy footwork.
That's the love of sports.
Fletcher Amos shoots, diving save again by Duggan. But they're starting to put some pressure on him.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. West Allegheny down 1-0. They know how tightly played this game is. You see Amos here, another nice move. Puts a good shot on net, but Duggan diving to his right. Makes another great save. So really, Duggan's keeping Montour in this second half ahead 1-0.
Seth Schleicher for Montour. Operating on the near side. To Nolan Hutter. Hutter to DeWitt. DeWitt, Schleicher with some open space. Schleicher's kick knocked away by the West Allegheny defense. That's Zaborowski. And then Schaffelbein sends a long pass that gets past the Montour defense, and then it's just headed toward the goal. A very alert play by Zach Gerstel, the Montour defense. 31 minutes to play in the second half. 1-0 Montour.
Really, too, Paul, for West Allegheny. Fletcher Amos has really stepped up here in this second half. He's been all over the place in front of that Montour net.
Schleicher's lead pass stolen by Schaffelbein. Of course, Fletcher Amos, the son of head coach Kevin Amos. Throw in for the Montour Spartans. Alex DeWitt. DeWitt fakes a back pass. Throws it in the direction of number 9, Gunnar Graham. A hard collision. Milcaric hits the ground hard. Schaffelbein tried to do the quick throw in to say this ball's ours, but people in the striped shirts were having none of it.
Free kick for Montour.
Free kick for the Spartans. What a collision. Schaffelbein really putting the body into Milcaric.
Yeah, Schaffelbein actually kind of like even raised that right arm up a little bit. That was like a body check. Dropped Milcaric like a ton of bricks.
Free kick by Jacob Milcaric. No, that's Hutter. Nolan Hutter.
That's 6 and 8 on that Montour jersey. It's tough to see.
With the gold jersey on the black in the nighttime light, yes, it is tough. That's where you got to look at their shoes, their hair color, wristbands. Milcarrick with a throw in on the far side for the Montour Spartans. We played a little over 10 minutes of the second half. Class 3A WPIAL championship game alongside Rennie, Detore, Paul Paterra. There's some pressure being put on by the Montour Spartans. Lizzie shoots, diving save with one hand by Worst. That one was head to the back of the twine. There's another shot towards the goal. This one goes wide off the toe of Nolan Hutter. Wide left. What a save by Worst.
And Worst is fired up too. Watch this. Just with that one right hand, gets his paw on it and pushes it away. Ulysses had a perfect shot. What a tremendous effort by Worst. And then again, another opportunity here quickly for Montour. Another shot. He chased it down. You see him pump his fist. He's fired up. Trying to keep West Allegheny only down by one.
Free kick for Montour.
You can thank Worst for that. It should be 2-0 in favor of Montour.
And if you can't hit the post, maybe it should be 3-0. Nolan Hutter straight away with the free kick. Eyes it up. Milcarrick runs around the ball. Hutter's kick towards the goal, too tall. And over the net.
Goal kick for West A.
It'll be a goal kick for West Allegheny. 28-10 to play in the second half. 1-0 Montour. Worst stays in.
Number 17, Jacob Vita.
I think the adrenaline for Worst is so much. I thought he was going to probably jump to the top of the lighting.
He did get airborne.
He got some air there, wow.
Worst with a long kick for Dragosic, headed away from him by Stetz. There's a lead pass for Stetz, knocked away. West Allegheny with control on the far side of the field. They'll come up the right side, pass up to Stephen Abbott. Abbott looks for Blankowski. Ball knocked away by Milcarrick. Jacob Milcarrick loses it to Evan Blankowski of West Allegheny. Indians with a chance, but Montour back on defense. Gerstel with some help from Mikkel Battles. Gotta love being right on the river here. You hear the boats in the background here in downtown Pittsburgh, Highmark Stadium. 1-0 Montour, 27-15 to play in the second half. Gunnar Grant. Oh, back pass. Might have been a mistake there, trying to get it to Ulysses, and then hitting the ground there is Schaffelbein. Still battling for the ball. They let him play on. Ulysses up ahead for Schleicher. Now we have a whistle.
Yeah, and you see Schleicher kind of raises his hands up in the air like, was there a whistle, not a whistle? He's kind of stopped on the play. He thought the play was dead. He watched that lead pass just go right past him.
So it'll be a free kick.
See here, Ulysses just standing like wondering if there should be a whistle or something. He just keeps playing the ball.
Long free kick that just goes into the waiting hands of Braden Worst, the junior keeper. Dressed in the all light blue. His lead pass a bit too far. DeWitt goes off his toe. Chance for West Allegheny coming way out of there. Duggan. And he had to because Connor Sesnick was in his grill.
That's a great aggressive play by Duggan there, Paul. Came right out, didn't hesitate 1 second to snatch that ball up.
Dylan Hutter falls to the ground, so Dragosic ends up with it for West Allegheny. Left-footed boot in the direction of Sesnick and Chappelle, but there's Brandon Wagner and rolls out of bounds. Be a goal kick for Montour. More precious time ticking off the clock. 25-40 to play in the second half. The WPIAL Class 3A championship game. Montour leads West Allegheny 1-0. Well, these two teams always play it tight. There's the long pass. It's a header. Dylan Hutter, then Gunnar Graham. Sends it on the far side, sprinting after that. But coming up is Caleb Miller to take it away for West Allegheny. To Stephen Abbott on the far side. Abbott behind the midfield stripe now. Back to Miller. That one just booted up in the air by Zach Gerstel. Collision, bodies hitting the ground. There's Schaffelbein. But again, there's Dylan Hutter. Dylan Hutter handling the ball. Little dribbling action. His kick goes lined off the head of Dragosic. There's Gunnar Graham, double team mark on him. Graham with a back kick. Hutter sends it ahead to Seth Schleicher. Ulysses calling for it. Schleicher sends it to him. Ulysses can't get to it as it rolls out of bounds.
Yeah, a little long on the pass there. He did a nice job of trying to run it down, Paul, but
for West Allegheny, number 9,
didn't quite catch up to it.
Goal kick for the West Allegheny Indians, who trail 1-0. Fletcher Amos back in the West Allegheny lineup, and he was getting some good chances here in the second half.
He really was. He's been a big bright spot for West Allegheny in the second half.
Got a short breather there. Brandon Wagner, Montour, sent downfield, ball being kicked back and forth. Here's Fletcher Amos with it around the midfield, coming near side. Now works over to the right side. Zaborowski sends it to Schaffelbein. Schaffelbein, his kick goes right to DeWitt of Montour. Ulizzi, touch pass. Hutter gets it ahead. Seth Schleicher with some open space. Schleicher, his pass meets the West Allegheny defense. Caleb Miller to Gavin Chappelle on the near sideline. DeWitt marks him. Chappelle to Stephen Abbott. Abbott's pass to Dragicic. Dragicic finds an open man on the right side. Steadying the ball. Pat is Haynes back to Dragicic. Taken away, but stolen back. Amos's kick is too tall. 23 and a half. I'm sorry about that. 23 and a half to play in the second half. 1-0 Montour.
Yeah, good surge there by West Allegheny. That's the first time they've really shown that kind of life here in the second half with just above 23 minutes left to play.
Duggan. His goal kick, long one. Headed by Milcari, but there's Dragicic. On the far side to Evan Blankowski. Blankowski's pass for Dragicic, taken away by the Montour defense, Milcari. West Allegheny gets it back. Keast. Abbott back to Keast. Logan Keast with some open space on the right side. Passes in the middle. This is Dragicic, gets away from one defender. Works the ball, but it's taken away, and there's Schleicher. Schleicher's going to try to maneuver with it. Schleicher gets away from the defender. That's Amos. Schleicher sends it down the near sideline, but it went out of bounds. So it'll be a throw-in from Schaffelbein.
Spartans defense has done a nice job still on Dragicic. Kind of thinking maybe he's going to break out here. But right now he's got double coverage on him every time he touches the ball.
He's got it. Knocked to the ground, ball taken away, Ulizzi. To Milcari. Dylan Hutter. Schleicher's ahead of him. There's the lead pass. Schleicher in pursuit. Caleb Miller with a nice defensive play, not only to get the ball, but to kick it off Schleicher, so the possession goes to West Allegheny.
Yeah, ball back to West Allegheny. Caleb Miller, that's back-to-back plays on defense. He's really stood tall for this Indians defense. It's kind of been the safety valve back there for West Allegheny.
So it'll be a throw-in for DeWitt. DeWitt lobs it in for Schleicher, but there's Schaffelbein. Stephen Abbott gets free for West Allegheny in the center circle. His pass taken away on a slide by Battles. Just knocks it out of bounds on the far side for a throw-in. Haynes comes back in the West Allegheny lineup,
number 10,
replacing Connor Sesnick. Haynes, the junior midfielder. There's the throw-in. Keast tries to get it ahead, taken away again by the Montour defense. Montour defense is collapsing well around goalkeeper Duggan here in the second half, protecting that 1-goal lead. Fletcher Amos trying to get it knocked away from him. Schleicher has it poked away from him. Now here comes West Allegheny. Back to Dragicic. Dragicic ahead to Gavin Chappelle near side. Chappelle back to Dragicic. Dragicic marked by Milcari. Dragicic still with the ball. Dragicic kicks it off Milcari. And it's going to be a goal kick.
Goal kick for Montour.
For Montour. Good defensive work by Milcari. Dragicic thought he should have had a corner kick, but that's not the call.
Yeah, he was set up for that corner kick and kind of threw his arms up. A little disappointed was Dragicic, but good defense there by Jacob Milcari on Dragicic.
Duggan just sends it to DeWitt. And DeWitt's going to send a long pass. Bodying up on Gunnar Graham, but Milcari gets it to Ulizzi near side. Ulizzi ahead to Schleicher. Schleicher tries to control the ball, but it's taken away from him by Zaborowski. For West Allegheny, long lead pass, Indians with a chance. Here they come from right to left. Evan Blankowski, Blankowski's pass, too far for Abbott. Montour gets it out of danger momentarily. Then good work by Gunnar Grant. The Mario Ulizzi coming up the near side again, right side offense. But there's Schaffelbein. Schaffelbein battling Ulizzi, out of bounds. It belonged to West Allegheny for the throw. The bespectacled Schaffelbein is a physical player out there for West Allegheny.
Yeah, I mean, Schaffelbein is really, he's pushing Ulysses around pretty well. They just had a nice little tussle. You saw some of the West Allegheny coaching staff down there asking for a push-off on Montour. I'm not sure I saw it the same way.
Montour with the ball, Schleicher. This is R.J. Stetz, the freshman, steadies it. Back to Dylan Hutter. Dylan Hutter sends it far side to Mikkel Battles. Battles working it over on the left. Gets it back on a pass. Nearly taken away. That was Patrick Phillips who passed it. And a nice dipsy-do from Dragic, but sliding up to get it away from him is Gerstel. Then Amos throws Gerstel to the ground. Gerstel getting up slowly, and I think we're going to get a yellow card. We are on Fletcher Amos. So that means he has to sit down for 5 minutes, is it? 5 minutes. And he comes over to the sidelines with 18:52 to play in the second half. It's going to be a tough loss, him sitting down for 5 minutes.
I was just going to say, Amos has been the one bright spot on offense for West Allegheny, so 5 minutes without him, you're at 18:52 left here in the game. That's a big loss for West Allegheny.
Of course, the clock stops on a yellow card, so Fletcher Amos sits down. He's replaced by Benjamin Forelli, the junior midfielder. And we're going to have a free kick for Montour. Nolan Hutter, the senior midfielder, going to take that to him. And head coach Kevin Amos is giving one of the officials an earful. And he's about to get a yellow card. The ref pulled a yellow card out, but put that back in his shirt pocket.
Giving Kevin Amos the benefit of the doubt. Probably doesn't help the fact that it was his son that got the yellow card either.
Long kick by Hutter, but there's Braden Worst coming out of the net to field that one. Trying to set up the West Allegheny offense, being cheered on by their fans with a West A chant. There's a header by Battles to Dylan Hutter. Nolan Hutter. Give and go. Hutter gets it back. Nolan Hutter marked off the play. Good defensive work by Keast to get it back, but there's Battles. Sends it to R.J. Stetz. Stetz sends it wide off the field of play. With 18.5 to play in the second half, it's 1-0 Montour, but West Allegheny with the ball. Indians coming down the right side of the field, far side from our vantage point. And Blankowski kicked it off a Montour player, not a bounce, so he'll have a throw-in. Gives it back to Keast for the throw-in. Keast lobs it into Jacob Abbott, excuse me. Stephen Abbott. Okay, I'll get it right. Here come the Spartans from left to right. Schleicher sends a long pass down the field. The only one waiting for it there is Caleb Miller, who softly sends it back to goalkeeper Braden Worst. Braden Worst tried to trigger the offense with a long kick, but a couple of Montour Spartans are there to head it forward. Operating with it, Ulysses. Pass taken away by Gabe Haynes. Montour gets it back. Some open space. Gunnar Graham. Gunnar Graham on the attack. He's got Schleicher to his right. Lead pass to Schleicher. Schleicher shoots. Saved by Worst, but I think we're going to get an offside call.
Offside call gives West Allegheny
offside on Montour.
Yeah, you see Schleicher clearly offsides. He kind of just barely tapped that too. I think he knew he was offsides with that attempt on goal that he had put on.
West Allegheny coming from right to left, near side at Schaffelbein to Forelli. Forelli back kick. This one's sent towards the goal. It's going to roll a little out, trying to save it there. For West Allegheny, not able to, was Stephen Abbott. So it'll be a throw-in on Montour's side of the field for the Spartans with 16:45 on the turning clock to play in the second half. Montour leads 1-0. Seth Schleicher scored at the 1:33 mark the first half. That's been the lone goal. Schaffelbein tries to dribble through the defense, can't lead past, but there's Caleb Miller. Ahead, Bryce Zaborowski, but Gunnar Graham gets it back. Graham over to Patrick Phillips, but Logan Keast is going to beat him to the ball. Send it back to Worst, who kicks one high in the air. Gerstel again on the spot for it. Gunnar Graham. Gunnar Graham marked on defense by Zaborowski and then kicks it back. Braden DeWitt. Pass up ahead, but there's Schaffelbein again. Jacob Schaffelbein. taken away from him. Seth Schleicher for Montour. Schleicher to Hutter. Hutter looks near side. DeWitt's not going to be able to get to this one, and it's just going to roll out of bounds. Time's starting to get late, though. Still 15 minutes. 1-0 Montour, 15:38 and turning to be exact.
When it gets under that 10-minute mark, you're going to see a lot of panic on the field for West Allegheny.
There's another long kick by Hutter. Schleicher was breathing down the neck of Wurst, but Wurst is able to grab it, throw the ball away, set the offensive attack for West Allegheny. Logan Keast on the far side. His pass knocked away by Mikkel Battles. Battles had a strong second half on defense for Montour. Collision on the far side allows West Allegheny to get the ball back.
I'll tell you, if you're West Allegheny, Paul, you got to try to get the ball to Dragišić here with just under 15 minutes left to play. He's been very quiet in this game, and that's a credit to Montour defensively, too.
Loose ball on the near side, off the field of play. It'll be a throw-in for Montour. Joshua Heidenreich coming back in to replace Alexander DeWitt. That'll be a throw-in for Heidenreich. Be another minute or so, and Fletcher Amos will be able to return to the West Allegheny lineup. Caleb Miller for the Indians of West Allegheny. But bodying it up, keep it on the West Allegheny side of the field is Hutter. Hutter back to Heidenreich. Heidenreich operating near side. Mario Ulizzi gets through a double team. Ulizzi with the ball. Ulizzi trying to get it to Schleicher, who was open on the near side. Kicked away from him by Chappelle and out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Montour. Quickly, Spartans get the ball into Ulizzi. Ulizzi double teamed. West Allegheny takes it away up to Forelli. Forelli, lead pass for Dragišić. Dragišić marked by Wagner. Dragišić with some room. Gets free. Dragišić closing it on net. Crossing pass. Knocked away by the defense. There's Battles again. But West Allegheny keeping on the pressure. Knocked away by Montour Spartans again. Battles heads it up ahead. Battle for the ball. Fighting for it. Gunnar Grant. R.J. Stetz. Touch pass Phillips. Long, high kick. Headed away by Gerstle, but Abbott with a chance. Abbott coming up the far side, blocked by Gerstle. West Allegheny putting on the pressure. The Montour defense collapsing on the goal. Abbott loses it momentarily. The ball loose near side. Schaffelbein passes to Dragišić. Dragišić looking, splits the double team. He's knocked down. No call. And there's a lead pass by Montour trying to chew some more time off the clock. 13 minutes to play in the second half. 1-0 Montour.
West Allegheny really turning it up now, Paul.
They are turning up the heat. And there's a long kick by Gerstle. But again, West Allegheny still there for the ball.
See here, Dragišić tried a centering pass. Battles was right there. Put a left foot right on it and stop that centering pass.
West Allegheny sending its defense up a little bit, trying to cheat in. Chappelle, Stephen Abbott, marked by Mikkel Battles. Battles gets it away from him. Just another one of the many strong defensive plays. There's a kick towards the net, but it's going to be an easy save for Brian Duggan. And try momentarily to get some heat away from the Montour defense, and there's a punt high in the air over the head of Ulizzi. So Schaffelbein for West Allegheny coming up near side. Chappelle sends this one far to Forelli. Forelli's able to get it. He's marked by Wagner. Wagner and Forelli fighting for it. Forelli's got the ball. Forelli trying to get through the double team. Wagner, it goes out of bounds, and the call is a goal kick for Montour.
As much pressure as West Allegheny is putting on Montour, that defense has been stellar, Paul.
11:36 and turning to play in the second half. It's 1-0 Montour. Goal kick for Duggan. Duggan boots it ahead, over the head of Stetz. But waiting for it is Patrick Phillips on the far side. Phillips to Nolan Hutter. Nolan Hutter, his kick is blocked. And West Allegheny with a chance. Fletcher Amos back in the game. Fletcher Amos coming in on goal, trying to get away from the defense. There's Battles again. And coming out to grab it is Duggan. Mikkel Battles has just been omnipresent on defense for Montour in the second half.
That's at least the third or fourth time just in the last few minutes that he's been on the spot there to turn away West Allegheny. I bet you Duggan's happy that Battles is back there on his side.
Comes another lead pass for Dragicic, headed away by Wagner of Montour. Then Hutter sends it over the far side for Phillips, but Logan Keast is going to beat him to the ball. Blankowski keeps it on the field of play, sends it in the air. Stetz with a header. Markesic another one, sends it up the field. Here comes Schleicher. Schleicher on the attack for Montour. Schleicher 1-on-4. Seth Schleicher now steadies the ball. Pass over on the near side. Ulizzi. Mario Ulizzi with the ball. Marked tightly there. Ulizzi, cross, knocked out of bounds, and that'll be a corner kick for Montour.
Corner kick to Montour.
It was good defense there by Schaffelbein.
Well,
then the crossing pass knocked out of bounds by Miller.
Yeah, Schleicher actually had a good lead pass there to Ulizzi, but it was a little too far for him. He had to chase it down, kind of lost the angle on goal. If he puts that right on Ulizzi, he has a good chance at least putting a shot on net.
Schleicher with the corner kick near side to our right. Under 10 minutes to play in this championship game. 1-0 Montour, and that's headed out of danger by Zaborowski for West Allegheny. Montour has it back. Ulizzi, lead pass, headed again out of danger by the West Allegheny defense. Couple players hit the ground, neither one of them getting up just yet. And we'll stop the clock with 9.5 minutes to play in the second half. It's 1-0 Montour.
Looks like Wagner for Montour. I think they may have collided heads. Ball away from the, didn't quite see what had happened, but both are still down. 9:03.
1-0 to score, Montour leading West Allegheny. 9.5 minutes to play in the WPIAL Class 3A championship game. Montour scoring with 1:33 to play in the first half. Seth Schleicher notching the goal. And both injured players are still down. Now the West Allegheny player is in a seated position, but he's surrounded by medical personnel, so I can't tell who it is. West Allegheny player is still laying down. I mean, the Montour player.
Yeah, I think that was Brandon Wagner, although we can't confirm.
And the two players fist bump.
Yeah, just a lot of good play. Yeah, it is Wagner, who's rolling around now onto his knees.
It's Blankowski for West Allegheny. He's up, and now Wagner's up. These soccer players are tough hombres, let me tell you.
I'll tell you, they were checking head and neck, so we'll hope those two guys, just a little woozy coming off the field. But
and I like the fist bump because, I mean, it's a hard battle, and yeah, Wagner is really unsteady.
Yeah, that you won't see either one of those guys back in this game. We just hope they're okay.
Blankowski's coming off the field under his own power, but Wagner is getting some assistance. And still 9.5 to play in this one. West Allegheny's had some chances here in the second half, but the defensive wall of Montour, there was a big block by Gerstel and another one by Battles. So both players get a nice hand as they come off the field. Gunnar Graham coming back in, and Wagner looks like he's losing.
Number 9, Gunnar Graham.
Yeah, again, I don't think you'll see Brandon Wagner back in this game, which is a good thing. He needs to get checked out. 9 minutes and 30 seconds left. The clock was actually reset, Paul. Was it 9:02? Was adjusted to 9:30. A little bit of a delay after the injury. The clock kept running.
So it'll be a throw-in for West Allegheny on the Indian side of the field. Logan Keast is going to get a little bit of pressure from Seth Schleicher as he throws it in. Now Montour's going to throw it in. I saw the Montour players back. Or is this just going to be a drop of the ball between the two players? But Schleicher and Keast are with one of the officials. So I guess this is going to be like a hockey face-off. And the ball is dropped, and Schleicher wins it, but loses it out of bounds. So it'll be a throw-in for West Allegheny. Keast up ahead, touch pass taken away by Montour. Working it over on the near side to R.J. Stetz. Stetz gets the trailer coming up. That's Ulizzi. Ulizzi up the near side. Ulizzi double team, gets away, gets through it. Ulizzi still has the ball. Now there's Schaffelbein taking it away. Schaffelbein to Bryce Zaborowski, who's marked by Stetz. Over on the far side, lead pass, but Patrick Phillips there for Montour. Ball poked away from him, however, but there's you-know-who, Mikkel Battles. Sending it to R.J. Stetz. Stetz over on the far side, Patrick Phillips. Montour wants to play defensively, but don't want to get into too much of a shell.
Yeah, playing a little bit of keep away here. But, you know, you're only up by 1 goal, so you got to still stay aggressive offensively.
Schleicher to Ulizzi. Ulizzi, lead pass. Schaffelbein controls it for West Allegheny. Gunnar Graham marking him. Schaffelbein's pass off the toe of Gavin Chappelle. So it'll be a throw-in for Montour. And DeWitt comes in to handle the throw-in. DeWitt to Gunnar Graham. And Graham just lost it out of bounds, just couldn't control it. 8:14 on the moving clock to play in the second half. 1-0 Montour. Dragicic near side. Very tight defense by Gerstel. Taken away by Montour. DeWitt up to some open space. It's Gunnar Graham. Gunnar Graham on the West Allegheny side of the play, coming up the middle of the field. Gunnar Graham loses a defender. Graham still with the ball. Gunnar Graham still has it. Graham gets free of the defense of West Allegheny. Sends it far side, kicked away by Logan Keast of West Allegheny, but Patrick Phillips sends it back to Jacob Milcarrick. Milcarrick, pass for Schleicher. Worst bats it away from the goal. On the near side, sent ahead. Fletcher Amos. Amos for West Allegheny, marked by DeWitt. Ahead to Stephen Abbott. There's Battles. Mikkel Battles on him. Pass into some open space on the far side, and that's going to roll off the field of play. And with 7:18 to play in the second half, Montour gets it with a 1-goal lead.
Yeah, some nifty work there by Gunnar Graham, but just couldn't get a good shot on goal.
There's the throw in by Battles, but West Allegheny gets it. Stephen Abbott, the senior forward. West Allegheny coming with some offense. Abbott gets free. Stephen Abbott gets through the defense. Stephen Abbott coming in on goal. Ball knocked away at the last minute. Milcarrick has it. Milcarrick sends it on the far side of the field for Phillips. Phillips keeps it on. No, he does not keep it on the field of play.
Yeah, one thing that Montour defense, Paul, has been able to do really well is when West Allegheny has an opportunity, they get one quick shot toward the goal, and then Montour quickly clears the ball.
Got a whistle. We've got another Montour player down. It's Battles who is down, stopping the clock with 6:29 to play in the second half. 6:31, excuse me. There are 2 Montour players down. Battles down and Milcarrick's down. Heinrich's going to come in. One thing that is good.
Like Battles was like they're getting their Achilles stretched out.
I do on the sidelines see Brandon Wagner standing on the Montour sidelines. I think he wants to come back in. I don't know if his coach is going to let him.
Yeah, he looks a little disappointed, kind of shaking his head.
Battles is up, Milcarrick's up. Battles is getting some assistance. It's a player Montour doesn't want on the sidelines for too long. He has been downright stingy on defense for Montour.
Yeah, you only have 6:31 left. He's been your best defensive player arguably all night.
He's moving pretty
fine,
good, yeah. But he does have to come off because the clock had to stop. But I think you'll see him back in this game, although he's still got a little bit of hitch in the giddy up. It'll be a free kick for Montour. Spartans with a 1-goal lead, 6:31 to play in the second half. It's 1-0 Spartans. There's a long kick from the Spartans for Phillips, but Blankowski, excuse me, he's going to shield him off of the ball. Keast will have a throw-in as it goes off the field of play. So a couple key players now off the field for Montour, and Wagner and Battles.
Yeah, see if West Allegheny can capitalize on that.
Gerstel just sends a long one downfield. Schaffelbein, marked by Schleicher. Pass up, but Ulizzi's there off his head. And again, Gerstel sends it downfield. This one to Gunnar Graham. Gunnar Graham marked by Caleb Miller. Graham gets past him. Gunnar Graham going to try to get free. Gunnar Graham still with the ball. Back pass to Ulizzi up the near side. Ulizzi gets free of the defense of Chappelle. Chappelle marking him tight. Ulizzi in the near side. Back to Gunnar Graham. Schaffelbein bodies him off the ball. Graham keeps it on the field of play. West Allegheny, Caleb Miller, ahead to Stephen Abbott. Abbott with a lead pass headed by Gerstel. But there's Gabe Haynes for West Allegheny. Pass for Dragicic, knocked away from him. Dragicic hits the ground hard. No call made. Dragicic getting up slowly. With some open space, Logan Keast. Keast comes across the midfield stripe. Kicked away from him by Phillips to Schleicher. And Montour's got pretty much everybody back on defense with Schleicher. Dragicic on the far side. Dragicic marked by Gerstle. Dragicic gets it past him. Dragicic, left foot kick goes wide of the net. 5 minutes to play in the second half. 1-0 Montour, be a goal kick for the Spartans.
Yeah, Dragicic actually tried to put a shot on net, Paul. You had Fletcher Amos. The ball went right past him.
Evan Blankowski back in for West Allegheny. That's good news. Mikkel Battles getting ready to check back in for Montour. That's good news.
Yeah, you thought maybe after they came off the field they would be back in short order.
And Wagner looks like he might be getting ready to come back in. Ball out of bounds on the near side, out of play.
I think Wagner wants to come back in.
Look at him. He looks like he's pleading to get back into the game.
Yeah, that's
he's got his, please, coach, put me back in.
Yeah, he's trying to talk to
one of the
assistants and say, I'm ready, put me back in.
Paying him no mind, as they say.
Yep.
Closing in on the 4-minute mark of the second half. 1-0 Montour. Logan Keast to Gabe Haynes. It's poked away from him, but Keast gets it back. Over in the far side, Abbott. Marked by Battles, who just returned to the lineup. Back kick, popped up high in the air. That's headed out of danger by the Montour defense. Up ahead to Gunnar Graham. But he's knocked off the ball by Bryce Amborowski. And then Patrick Phillips gets it for Montour, sends a lead pass too far for Schleicher. And here's Schaffelbein on the near side. Schaffelbein comes across the midfield stripe. Schaffelbein, near side Gavin Chappelle. Chappelle keeps it on the field of play. Chappelle's pass to Amos. Amos, back kick to Schaffelbein. Schleicher coming back to help on defense, headed towards the goal. What a save! Leaping in the air, Duggan, and he knocks it out of play. And with his hands on his head, wondering how he didn't get a goal there, is Gabe Haynes. Haynes is beside himself.
Watch the header here. Perfect header.
It wasn't Haynes who headed it.
Unbelievable.
That was a beautiful pass.
That was Dragicic, I believe, that headed that in, but
Dragicic, what a save by Duggan. 2:45 to play. This one coming towards the net. Duggan leaps in the air, makes another save. Holy smoke.
You think Duggan wants his title?
What a save. And Duggan punts it. But there's Schaffelbein again. Schaffelbein sends it into the middle of the center circle. Haynes with a back kick. West Allegheny going to attack again. To Dragicic. Header. That one sent up in the air by DeWitt over on the far side. That one's just booted up in the air by Milkarek. Schaffelbein with a header. Sending it forward. It's going to roll off the field of play by Ulizzi.
Brian.
Milkarek, another header. Haynes bodies the defender off the ball. That's Graham. But Stetz gets it. Stetz sends it over on the far side of the field. But West Allegheny waiting for it. And Phillips gets it away from Blankowski, but can't save it. 1:47 and turning to play in the second half. 1-0 Montour. West Allegheny with a throw-in on the Montour side of the field. In the box area, but kicked well out of danger by DeWitt. Comes back on the West Allegheny side of the field. 90 seconds to play, stolen by Ulizzi. Here comes Ulizzi. Mario Ulizzi with Schleicher to his right. Ulizzi coming up with the ball. Dipsy-do. Ulizzi in the box, knocked away. Schleicher shoots over the net.
Boy, that came right back perfectly to Schleicher, and he missed the net.
It'll be a goal kick for West Allegheny. We're closing in on the final minute of regulation time. Goal kick for the Indians. Worst. 1 minute to play in regulation. Caleb Miller near side. Schaffelbein. Schaffelbein up ahead. Dragicic. Marked by Gerstle. Great pitch by pass by Dragicic. Kick. Blocked. Taken away. Going to roll into the far side of the field and out of play. 42 seconds. Regulation time. Abbott directing traffic on the throw-in. Gets the ball into Fletcher Amos on the far side. Amos marked extremely tight with a double team. 30 seconds to play in regulation. 1-0 Montour. DeWitt kicks it away. Milcaric sends it down the field. Caleb Miller pops one up into the air. Headed away. 18 seconds to play regulation. This one smacked well into the air.
That might do it.
That's going to go out of bounds on the far side. 10 seconds to play in regulation. One more chance. Keast gets the ball too far. Duggar sends it up in the air. Montour's going to win. The Montour Spartans are the WPIAL Class 3A champions. 1-0. Holy smoke. What a game. Oh, baby. And what a save by Duggan in the final few minutes.
Really, Brian Duggan deserves credit. I mean, there was back-to-back saves. It could easily have been West Allegheny celebrating a 2-1 win, but Montour does it. Finally, in their finals debut, they take home the biggest prize in Class 3A. Unbelievable.
Fans are not permitted on the field.
Let's take a break here.
We got fans on the field. We got to take a break here.
1-0 Montour defeats West Allegheny. You're listening to exclusive coverage of the 2017 WPIAL Boys Soccer Finals, only on the new Triblive High School Sports Network.
Who showed you how to get to Sesame Street and took you to visit Mr. Rogers' neighborhood? WQED. And now, WQED and PBS Learning Media can help you travel through space, get an up-close look into Vietnam, and be in the front row of a Broadway show. In collaboration with local school districts, community organizations, and local libraries, WQED continues to create experiences that remake learning for students, teachers, and lifelong learners. For more info, visit WQED.org and begin your adventure.
Check out the new Triblive High School Sports Network on social media this season for breaking news, scores, pictures, videos, links to our articles, and more. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram under the handle Triblive HSSN. Get in the conversation on Facebook at facebook.com/Triblive HSSN. And on our YouTube channel, you can find thousands of interviews with local student athletes and coaches, plus highlights and full games. The spot for Western Pennsylvania high school sports on social media this season is the new Triblive High School Sports Network.
There's a new fear, not of better options, of rising loan rates. It's real. Rates have gone up, and Dollar Bank still has one of the lowest around. With a rate as low as 3.29% APR with only $50,000 borrowed, fixed for 7 years, there's nothing to fear. You can renovate the kitchen or update a bathroom or two. So lock in your rate now before they, well, I don't want to say it out loud. If choosing the better option is your worry, you can be confident that Dollar Bank's loan experts have only your best interests in mind, since they're not paid a commission. So lock in your rate before they go up again. Get those home improvements done with a rate as low as 3.29% APR, fixed for 7 years. Longer terms are available. Stop by, call 1-800-242-BANK, or visit dollar.bank. Dollar Bank, mutually inspired. Rate is for well-qualified borrowers and includes a discount with a maintained qualifying checking account. Not available for the refinance of a Dollar Bank loan, line, or mortgage of less than $15,000 in new money. Monthly payment of $13.34 per $1,000 borrowed. Other terms and conditions apply. Subject to change without notice. Equal housing lender.
People ask what drives me. It's the respect I have for my opponents, the trust I have in my teammates, a coach who treats me with dignity, and a university that has faith in me on and off the field. That's what keeps me focused, why I practice harder, play my heart out. I play to win. I play for Carlo. Tell us your story using #WhatDriveSYou. Carlo University, a proud sponsor of the MSA Sports Network.
The team at UPMC Sports Medicine doesn't just rebuild wrists and knees. They build better athletes. Athletes at every level who want to get stronger and faster and prevent injuries. Fact is, no other sports medicine program in the region is more experienced when it comes to treating, training, and inspiring athletes. UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Penguins, Steelers, and you. Find out more at upmcsportsmedicine.com.
Remember, today's game is being produced by the Westmoreland Sports Network. Cameramen Chris Smith, Dustin Beck, and Roger Downs, and the producer Dan Flickinger. Paul Paterra with you. Rennie Detore down on the field, getting some shots for the Triblive High School Sports website. 1-0, the Montour Spartans defeat the West Allegheny Indians in their first appearance in the WPIAL championship game, and they defeat a team that beat them twice throughout the year. And Seth Schleichel got the goal with 1:33 to play in the first half. The lone goal of the night in this game for Montour, but as we were discussing in the press box, the star of this game is goalkeeper Brian Duggan. There was a chance late, I think under 3 minutes to play in the game, a header by Nathan Dragicic, the leading goal scorer, the Duquesne University recruit for West Allegheny. And here it is on replay. And just leaping up into the air, body parallel. Here it is again. What an incredible save by Duggan. Getting his right hand up enough to knock that one over the goal. Dragicic looking up in the air, pulling his shirt up, putting his shirt in his mouth. He can't believe the ball didn't go into the net, but it didn't. And the Montour Spartans win 1-0. They will move on, as will West Allegheny Indians, to the PIAA tournament. That puts Montour at 16-3-1. West Allegheny falls to 19-2-1. Ends a 20-game undefeated streak for the West Allegheny Indians. And before we wrap things up, we're going to send you down to the field as the Montour Spartans get their gold medals. And there's Duggan getting his.
Number 2, Mikhail Battles. Number 3, Garrett Martindale. Number 4, Patrick Phillips. Number 5, Alex DeWitt. Number 6, Giovanni Gigliotti. Number 7, Seth Schleicher. Number 8, Brandon Wagner. Number 9, Gunnar Graham. 10, Connor Gray. 11, Mario Ulizzi. Number 12, Ricky Keck. 13, Robbie Rapo. 14, Zach Gerstall. 15, Marty Scanlon. 16, Jake Wicker. 17, Brayden Village. 18, Nolan Hutter. 19, Ashton Mitchell. Number 20, Antonio Ulizzi. 21, Josh Heidenreich. 26, RJ Steps. 28, Robbie Daly. 31, Cole Marshall. 32, Ben Lander.
And there you have it, the Montour Spartans getting their gold medals. And I think we can call it a wrap here from Highmark Stadium. What a great day of championship soccer at West Allegheny. Waynesburg boys winning a WPIAL championship. Waynesburg girls, excuse me, along with the Penn Trafford girls and the boys teams of Shadyside Academy and Montour. Your final score once again from Highmark Stadium. It's the Montour Spartans 1, the Indians of West Allegheny 0. A lot of thank yous out for this game. Cameraman Chris Smith, Dustin Beck, Roger Downs, our producer Dan Flickinger. Remember, you're home throughout the WPIAL postseason for any sport. It's the new Triblive High School Sports Network. And for my partner, Rennie Detore, this is Paul Paterra. Good night, everybody.